Hello, this is Martin and welcome to the channel. Going to do a short video talking about mindfulness and what mindfulness is. Over the last decade or so, mindfulness has become more and more popular, very buzzy, very hot topic, lots going on in the media. But what does it actually mean? In essence, to be mindful is to be in the moment, not distracted thinking about the past, the future, other people and other places. The human mind, the human brain has evolved into this amazing, efficient machine. And it's become so creative, so intelligent, really fantastic in many ways. But often we're just on autopilot, just reacting automatically to different challenges, the ups and downs in life. We often react over emotionally or react with negative emotions to situations, and we can look back and think, oh, I wish I didn't do that. Often in these times we've got to be quite self-compassionate and just understand if we made mistakes we can learn from them and grow and become better people. And self-compassion and compassion is a large part of mindfulness. Certainly if we bring in the more Buddhist aspects of mindfulness and the Buddhist philosophies and teaching. But as I say, in essence, means to be in the moment, to be aware and connected with your experience as each second passes. Apparently, one big difference between human and animals is we can trigger stress response and cortisol, the stress hormone, just by thinking and imagining things. For example, you could be at home on a Sunday night, watching telly, comfortable, you've had nice food, nothing particular to react to or to stress at that time. But we start thinking about work the next day and we don't want to go, and we've got that meeting with our boss or that project we have to do, whatever it may be. And we can start to feel heavy, uncomfortable, agitated, and as I say, stressed. When we become more aware of meditation and mindfulness, we become more aware at how we're often on autopilot. The mind just with this constant stream of thoughts, images. What we think about generally creates our mood and our emotion. If we think about negative, heavy things, our mood drops, our energy drops, we feel heavy and flat. That can become a bit of a vicious cycle and encourage us to think a little bit more negatively because we're in that kind of heavier place, if you like. We can learn so much about ourselves through studying mindfulness, through practicing mindfulness. And it's not all about meditation. Yes, meditation is amazing. It's fantastic for our mind, body, and spirit. We learn to settle the mind, to relax the body. When we're thinking all of the time, layers and layers of thought, everything gets a little bit cloudy and confusing. We often can't see answers or the way forward. But with meditation, we learn to settle the mind. It's almost like we reset the mind a little bit so we can be calm, more peaceful, often find more positivity within, and we can just look at life a little bit clearer and flow with life a little bit better. But there is more to mindfulness than meditation. It's something we can implement into our daily lives. And with a little bit of effort, it becomes much more of a habit. If we look at neuroplasticity, what this really means is the more we think about something or practice something or do something, neural networks create and forge within the brain. So it becomes more natural. So if we're always thinking negatively or badly about ourselves, this becomes quite automatic and natural. On the other side of that, if we can learn to be more mindful, practice meditation regularly, that becomes easier and becomes more natural. As I get older, I'm really kind of learning I think too much about too many things. And often that is a waste of energy. It makes me tired, can be a waste of time. So the older I get with a lot of situations, I'm kind of realizing don't overthink about them. Don't overplan. Just kind of deal with it at the time. For example, I'm thinking about moving from from Brighton to Bolton. at some point for different reasons. But I'm not sure about that decision. But as human beings, we have a psychological need to be in control of things and feel that we have to know answers to everything we're thinking about or working out. So I could stress, I don't know if I want to move to Bolton. Shall I do it? Shall I not? Keep looking at the pros and cons, and that can throw you around emotionally a little bit as well. But then I just think now, if I go, I go, and I'll know when is the right time to make that decision, or not know when it's the right time to make that decision. That decision will just make with inside of me, if that makes sense. So again, I'm not fighting with it, just going to go with the flow. If I end up there or I stay here, it's not life or death. I used to love watching movies. I used to watch at least probably 7 or 8 movies every week. When I was younger, I would find it really relaxing, switching off to the world a little bit. Now, when I watch movies, I'm so used to checking my phone all the time for notifications or having a look on Facebook or websites that I look on. And it becomes such a habit. And it might sound daft, really, but I thought I need to train myself to watch movies again and to really watch the movie for the whole hour and a half or so without checking my phone so many times. Because I'm not relaxing into the experience and engaging with the movie enough. And many of you will also, if you think about it, how you used to watch things on telly or enjoy things, but how much more distracted you get now. So I said mindfulness is a beautiful thing we can incorporate within our lives. Um, I was eating a chocolate bar yesterday, a Twix. Love Twixes, walking around the flat, thinking about things. And then I looked, it was the last little bit. I thought, you know what? I've not even tasted this really because my awareness has not been on the experience of eating, having gratitude and enjoying that. I've been thinking about my life and all these different things. So if we're aware that mindfulness is good for us, and I will explain a bit more about mindfulness, we can start to incorporate it into our lives more. And start to be a little bit more aware. It's like we can observe the brain from a distance or more analytically. And often we find ourselves thinking, worrying about things and how that affects our mood and our energy. And sometimes we can say, do you know what? This isn't great for me today. Why don't I just relax a little bit? Why don't I switch off? Why don't I meditate? Or it's not hiding from thoughts or problems, but choosing not to overly focus on and feed them and think about something a little bit nicer, a little bit more positive. Go over some happy memories and things like this. So what you're doing there is stopping this road, this train of negativity, by recognizing it, being aware it's not particularly good for you at that time, and as I said, not hiding from it or pretending it's not there, but saying to yourself, there's no point of thinking about this all day. It's affecting me in ways I don't like, and just choosing to let it go. And that could be through meditation, or as I say, to refocus on slightly more positive things. So mindfulness really, it's the art of being more in control of your mind, and that gives you much more control of your mood and your emotions and your health in many ways, because you're not stressing, you're not reacting to so many things. Many of you will have heard the term the monkey mind, and that's kind of used because the mind can jump around from thought to thought, from topic to topic, like a naughty little monkey. We often don't finish things or work them out, but thoughts just come in, and we follow them, we jump on them. Another term is the butterfly mind, like a flitting butterfly just going all over the place. As I said, the human mind, the brain, has evolved into such an amazing, beautiful thing. But the more intelligent people have become, on the positive side, the more creative we can be, the more aware of others, the more aware of complexities within our own lives and other people's lives. but we can ruminate. We can look at the past more, and we can look at the future more and be a little bit more anxious. It's like the more intelligent people get, the more space there is for good things, but also for the worrying and the anxiety. We often worry so much about things that don't happen or don't happen the way that we think they're going to. You know, let's say we've got a meeting with someone next week and we're terrified of it and it's going to be awful and we feel uncomfortable. We can have that meeting in our head 50 times before next week, spend hours, dozens of hours in that meeting. Again, reacting with stress responses and emotionally to us being there. And it is our reality at that moment. Anything that causes a reaction or a change within us is real. So taking ourselves to those meetings really can be unpleasant. And when we get to that meeting, it might be all right because the other people might be nicer than we think. And so our reactions will be more positive and it's just a better outcome. And then you can realize I spent so many hours, days worrying about this and it was actually okay. I love Alan Watts. If you don't know who Alan Watts is, Google him, get on YouTube. An amazing man, an amazing philosopher. And he talks a lot about Wu Ji, a Taoist principle, which really means kind of go with the flow or non action. When I was a kid and read these kind of things, I thought that meant to be lazy, but it doesn't. But what Alan Watts is talking about or talks about is not to overplan things, not to stress, to worry, go over and over. But when we're at certain events or these life moments, to react in the moment spontaneously in accordance with your true nature. And it can make such a difference. It really, really can. And if you look at it logically, we're in certain situations in life. And the best that we can often do is act with our feelings, our intuition, and just kind of spontaneously. It makes much more sense. Sometimes the way we act, if it's spontaneous, would have been what we thought it would be, but other times it can be very, very different. So, as I said, we're often on autopilot, just reacting emotionally to things and uh, often acting out of fear or anxiety or worry. To be mindful means to be in the moment, to enjoy the moment, to be grateful, often to act with compassion. Again, it's being real, it's being who we really are. So, if you're interested more in meditation, that's obviously a big aspect of mindfulness. I've got many YouTube videos, meditation videos, different guided meditations, some more to do with healing. Have a look. It's quite a new channel. A couple of months old, but I really want to reach as many people as possible. And if I can help a couple of people a week to de stress or have a nice meditation, then that's quite rewarding for me. So I really thank you for listening. I will be doing more videos breaking down different aspects of mindfulness in the coming weeks. But as I said, mindfulness, it's to be in the moment, to be aware of your surroundings. And a lot of it is not thinking about the past, the future, other people and other places. And the more mindful we can be, the more we can engage with life, the more spontaneous we can be, the more calm, peaceful, and happy we can be. And there's so much evidence about how it affects our mental and physical health. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. Thank you for staying to the end. I'd really appreciate it if you could like and subscribe. And I'd really, really appreciate it if you can leave any comments in the comment section, any feedback. So hopefully I'll see you soon. Bye for now.